Oh no, look at us stuck on an island, like kitchen islands. We saw
That's really good.
we saw Send Help. Connor, what's the plot of Send Help?
Sam Raimi is back for the first time in like 10 years, not counting that one Doctor Strange movie he did, which I don't think counts.
No.
Anyhow, Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien from The Maze Runner work at an office together. Dylan O'Brien's dad, Bruce Campbell, passes away, and he takes up as the boss. And as most douchey, underqualified air bosses go, he decides to hire his underqualified friends as the executives. When Rachel McAdams was promised the promotion to become the vice president. A little bit later, they're working on some work, and they throw Rachel McAdams a bone and take her on the airplane. And then they start making fun of her for auditioning for Survivor. But oh no, the plane crashes, and now Dylan O'Brien is stuck there on the island. Everyone else died. So anyways, it's a bunch of them surviving for a long time. Twists and turns ensue. What will happen on this island? That's the question they ask. And they answer it. But you're going to have to watch the movie. So Aiden, what did you think of Send Help?
It's a very Sam Raimi movie. In a good way, of course. Unlike Doctor Strange 2, which was not at all a Sam Raimi movie, except like maybe 1% of the time. This is Sam Raimi's one for me, his Malignant to James Wan's Aquaman.
Yep.
And he decided to have fun with it. It's goofy and over the top and silly in all the ways that Sam Raimi loves to make movies. There's a scene where Rachel McAdams hunts a boar very early on that is cartoonishly bloody to the Evil Dead degree. Hi boys, can we be nice? There's a scene where Rachel McAdams vomits on the other guy's face for like 2 straight minutes. It's a Sam Raimi movie, and it's fun. It's a collection of we're stuck on this island together shenanigans, but Rachel McAdams is very crazy, and she just gets to torment her abusive boss in all the ways she wants for 2 hours. And some other shenanigans ensue. It's a little more dry than Sam Raimi was at his wackiest, but despite its relatively grounded setting, it manages to be as wacky and silly and bloody, and especially the last 15 minutes are very, 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 very Sam Raimi. If you've ever seen a Sam Raimi movie, any of them, this is kind of a victory lap for him. It's all of his best and worst qualities jammed into a we're stuck on an island plot, and it's a hell of a lot of fun. But there is a sort of routineness to it that outside of the twists at the ends, it does kind of just have the same thing going on for a lot of it, so it is slightly hard to talk about beyond saying that it's really fun. Connor, what do you think of Send Help?
Send Help is kind of a hard movie to pin a genre on.
Romantic comedy.
Kind of. Romantic dark comedy, kind of. Not really, though.
Not really.
Rachel McAdams plays Catwoman from Batman Returns. She does the same thing where it's awkward girl, disgusting awkward girl, turned confident. It's almost
Done,
exactly the same thing as, yeah, really. I mean, it's pretty much the same plot in terms of like compared to Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then I was like, she kind of looks like Michelle Pfeiffer in like the way that they're both women. Well, when she has her messy bun hair and she's getting tuna sandwich all over her face and
Yeah.
stuff.
No, I get you.
It's the same idea. So from the start, you kind of get this cartoonish tone, but Rachel McAdams isn't the only cartoon character because Dylan O'Brien is a cartoony douchebag who tries to Harvey Weinstein women and has a fiance that he occasionally loves. Him and his douchebag frat bros love to play golf, and they're just fucking assholes.
Yep.
So at first you can kind of sympathize with Rachel McAdams, then it turns out she's actually just kind of a psycho.
Yeah.
I think that's the
Kind of
de-evolution. You're like, oh, she's like an innocent woman who likes to watch Survivor and like she eats the tuna sandwich messy.
She hangs
You know,
out with her
like,
bird.
She's schlocky. But then throughout, her character arc is going from schlubby lady to confident boss bitch by torturing this fucking guy in the wilderness for weeks.
Yeah.
There's a lot. It's such a weird movie tonally because it's very much a comedy, almost end to end. There's like some stuff that's kind of gory in the trademark Sam Raimi style, but it's never horror.
No.
They did randomly throw a jump scare in the middle for fun.
Sam Raimi had to.
It's not particularly suspenseful. It's even shot kind of like...
I would argue that it's kind of the opposite of suspenseful.
Yeah. It's pretty droning, and then shit just randomly happens. It's a very odd movie, and then the cinematography too is just really like the island's mostly bright. It's actually, by and large pretty good. I do think like the brightness of the island feels a little overused, but like the really bright island stuff, I mean they could have maybe done something more interesting with, but it is a very it's a very fucking bizarre movie.
Sam Raimi's Malignant.
The Sam Raimi-isms are all over here. Yeah, it really is Sam Raimi's Malignant. In a lot of ways, Sam Raimi's kind of like the precursor to James Wan in a lot of ways. They randomly do the big franchise movies that are weird, but mostly don't even really feel like something they made. And then they have their weird ones. James Wan, I feel like, embraces his franchises more. I mean, like, Furious 7 is just...
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, I guess
Sam
those
Raimi
OG
did
Spider-Man movies...
Spider-Man 1 has a scene where the Green Goblin throws a pumpkin bomb and 3 people turn into dollar store skeletons.
There's also a scene where he dresses as an old woman and starts talking in an old woman voice. That fools Spider-Man, and then he's in his little Power Rangers outfit.
Yeah.
So I guess, yeah. No, it's traditional Sam Raimi, but like a lot of Sam Raimi movies, starting with Army of Darkness, there isn't really a genre. There isn't really a plot. It's just a series of Sam Raimi-isms for 2 hours, which is, pretty similar to what James Wan does, frankly, in his many films. It in a lot of ways is kind of Sam Raimi's Malignant.
Yeah.
The movie's really, I mean, it's just kind of hard to describe. I would say, I think I have a hard time grasping where he ended up deciding to take the movie. I don't know if the ending is exactly what I would have done. I think you could have done...
I like it.
I like it well enough. There's
I don't know
a
how
point.
you got out of the story you wrote yourself into without just leaning into it, I guess.
I think he might have leaned a little too much into it. And then being like, there's a twist, and everything was a lie, and it's like, I mean, there were some setups for it that were like really clearly telegraphed. One thing that Sam Raimi really did in this movie that bothered me is like, Sam Raimi loved, and he's always kind of done this, but in this movie to like a much higher degree. He'll like pan down and zoom in on a bush and then hold on it for 30 seconds, and it's like, I wonder what this bush is gonna be later. Or like, you know, she'll step on a rock and it'll crack slightly, and he'll zoom in on it and hold on it for 30 seconds. I'm like, okay, I know it. This was gonna collapse. I guess maybe the whole point is so that like, I don't know. It's like Sam Raimi schlocky in a good way.
Yeah.
It's certainly not one of my favorite Sam Raimi movies, but it was a nice return to form, and it's not just like Marvel slop with like 2 Sam Raimi-isms slipped in like the Doctor Strange was, but I mean we're not hitting like Spider-Man 3 is cringe kino, and Spider-Man 2 and 1 are genuinely pretty good. The Evil Dead movies are, number 1 is good, number 2 is just number 1 but better. Army of Darkness has created his entire style. I still haven't seen Darkman. I got that recently though. Apparently his plan is to make a Darkman 2 next, which would be nice to see a Sam Raimi superhero movie where he's not required to live within Marvel and Kevin Feige's strict mandates.
Yeah.
Clearly he can do the Marvel movies, but I don't want to see him waste his talents on Marvel movies, especially when he's like, I'm making one movie this decade.
Alright, Sam Raimi, now put Patrick Stewart in a wheelchair rolling
now,
around.
if Sam Raimi and Amy Pascal teamed up again, the Dream Team returned.
Kino.
The nice thing about Sam Raimi and Amy Pascal is like most of the time when a director
They're both
comes,
schizos.
they're both schizos. So typically, it's really she hires really bad directors who give her really bad ideas, and she's like, "That's a fucking fantastic idea." But like Sam Raimi can come up with a really bad idea, and then somehow it's just really good because it's Sam Raimi doing it. He just knows how to do really bad ideas really good. So even the ending, which I thought was kind of fundamentally not where I would have taken the movie, and I'll stand by that. He still landed it with some grace because it's Sam Raimi and he knows what he's doing. A lot of this movie was kind of shot like Happy Gilmore 2 on Netflix. That's what the bright scenes look like. Like, we need some shadows and contrasts here.
Yeah, I did like I liked the reference to The Strangers Chapter 2 with the CGI cartoon board that had evil demon teeth for some reason.
I wanted to say that was one thing. Sam Raimi, I wonder if there's like a pack of those now, because like it feels like a lot of these like mid-budget movies are like, she hunts a boar, and they're like, well, you can't just like murder a boar, and it's not exactly safe to bring a boar out to the set. PETA's a factor, so you're just gonna have to do it with CGI, and it looked like shit. I would have maybe liked if Sam Raimi just maybe did CGI with some, at least fill in some of the close-ups with like a weird looking puppet animatronic, touch it up with CGI,
or
but
get a real pig and then glue
really
a bunch
fake
of hair to it.
Like, but this one being more of a comedy, it's when they try to take those moments really seriously, like in The Strangers, I have a little less grace about it, but this movie does not take itself seriously in the slightest, so even though I'll concede it was a shitty CGI moment, I just don't care as much as when it's trying to like have this emotional scene with a really bad looking CGI boar or whatever.
Yeah.
CGI wolf or whatever. Yeah, that was a sequence that didn't work for me. I think Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien both did a pretty damn good job in their respective roles. I also liked how the characters did nothing but subvert your expectations. Like, sometimes it's like, I don't know, it was just fucking weird. Anyhow, Aiden, would you recommend Send Help?
Absolutely. So much fun. Not a lot more to say about it. It is exactly what it looks like it is. And it's also a Sam Raimi movie. Connor, would you recommend Senville?
Yeah, I'd recommend Send Help. January's been a mixed bag. There's been some really good stuff. I think this is a pretty loose, easy to watch movie. It's not that long. It's like 140, or it's like 110 minutes or something. It was like under 2 hours. And I think it used the runtime well enough. It was a very bizarre movie. So, I'd say it's worth a watch. We'll see you next time with what are we at now? The Jason Statham movie or something?
Strangers?
I think it's
no,
Jason
Strangers is on Monday.
Statham's. I think it's Jason Statham's. Yep, it's Jason Statham's next Shelter. It's spawned back into my thing. I think originally I booked 5, but it moved us into the 4:45.
Yeah.
We should just double check and make sure our seats aren't all fucked up. Because sometimes if they switch auditoriums, no, I'm good. Sometimes if they switch auditoriums and it's a different shape, it'll just program you to whatever the seat value is. But since the theaters are different sizes and the values are changed, you'll be put in the middle of 2 rows up. I don't know if that's an issue as much anymore. I haven't seen it happen nearly as often. Crime 101 has a trailer that looks interesting. Strangers in the really bad looking Dracula movie. Man, we really, we got a lot going on this year. 2026 might just be our biggest year in terms of sheer volume of movies watched.
Perhaps.
I mean, it's starting out pretty big. So far we've watched Primate, 28 Years Later, Dead Man's Wire, Mercy, Return to Silent Hill, and Send Help. We did 6 in January.